Hey, it's Mike. I'm back, and I'm ready to talk about Hare Krishna. Give you some news, some updates, and some reaction to some videos. We got Fake Human here. Hey, Fake Human, how you doing? Good to see you here. I got a video about a guy that left the Hare Krishnas about 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, something like that. I'm gonna watch that video. I got some more videos that Rafal sent in. My producer, Rafal. So I'm going to show those, and I'm going to talk about some other stuff, and we're going to get right to it. I'm having some software issues, but we're going to get into it right after this opening. So here we go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Hey, thanks for sticking that out. So let's see. We got Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Good to see you here. Glad you stopped by. And of course, Fake Human chasing, running down, being chased by the cops. Okay. So where are we? We're here. Let me show you. Okay. So Rafal sent in some videos. So let's check out what hey, we got. 7720, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. So let's see. The first video we're going to take a look at is that Rafal sent in. And let's take a look at this. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on a second here. Okay. Okay, so it says here, this is Indra Yumna Swami and Briga Govinda, Bhakti Briga Govinda Swami. This is the same guy. This is Nishinga, St. Petersburg, 1995. So I guess Rafal's in here. I guess he was there. He's in there somewhere. Hey, 7720, peace, brother. And so there you see these freaks are dancing around. Hey, Dahlia Roberts, how you doing? Good to see you here. And so Indra Yumna Swami and this guy. These guys are old buddies. As you can see, let me show you here. These guys. So this is recent. This just happened. It's the other day, I guess. Same freaks. Same freak from the other video. Same freak from the other video. Yeah, I agree. Stop music abuse. Stop music abuse. Stop music abuse. They think it's nothing but a drum circle, but they think their drum circle is special, is better than anybody else's drum circle. Like their drum circle is somehow special. But anyway, so that's Indra Yumna Swami, the little girl Swami, and Briga Govinda Swami. He's buddies with Bhakti Vikas Swami. And the thing about Bhakti Vikas Swami is he spilled the beans and said, look, we forgive these child molesters. Not only do we forgive them, but not only do we excuse them and forgive them, but we go and we party with them and we hang out with them. And we do that and we don't care. We have no shame. In fact, we feel that Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prabhupada says, we have to, if we don't show these molesters respect and worship their feet and do all this stuff, then we're offensive. It's the same shit they were trying to tell me. That that I had to forgive this Tattva Darshan. I had to give them the benefit. I had to do all that shit. Otherwise, I was the offensive one. This is what it comes down to. And then this Bhakti Vikas Swami makes a video saying, yes, this is how we think. This is how we feel. Because they all think the same. They all think the same. That's why this has been going on forever. So that's why these guys that have been kicked out of ISKCON, they don't care. They're still all friends with them. Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami, all these guys that can still give lectures, they don't care that they're child molesters. They just don't care. Fuck them kids. They care more about washing the guru's feet than getting the kids any kind of help or therapy or anything. They don't give a fuck about the kids. It doesn't say in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a guy molests a child. We got to you got to do something for the kids. It doesn't say that. Bhagavad Gita says you got to forgive the guy that does the abominable things. Well, who's he doing abominable things to? Freak fest. It is. They're fucking freaks. And glorifying each other, acting like there's something special, like they're holy men. Acting like they're holy men. They think they're fooling. Well, they are. They're fooling people. They are fooling people. They're not fooling me. Guys are not holy. They're not holy, not one bit are they holy. Guy's not holy with his flowers. He can put all the flowers he wants on. He can wear all the shit he wants. He ain't no fucking holy man. That guy ain't no holy man. That dude right there is fucking grooms little girls. This guy can't keep his hands off little girls. He fucking ain't no holy man. Palling around with other child molesters. They're no fucking holy man. You gotta ask yourself, what kind of people think that these freaks are fucking holy men? For what? The fuck has this guy ever done? What the fuck's he ever done? Yeah. Except pump that little box and play his stupid little songs. And rub his hands all over little girls thinking he's Ramananda Roy. At least Ramananda Roy took them to a secluded place. This guy rubs his hands all over their bodies right in front of everybody. And these freaks don't even give a fuck. They think he's so fucking much of a holy man that they let him molest their kids. They don't care. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. You know, and I came on here and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And it's like, and I lined up all these videos and it's like, as soon as I see these people, it's like, I know exactly what I'm going to say. These fucking people are disgusting. They're fucking disgusting pieces of shit. And to sit there and act like they're holy, man, like they're a holy man, it fucking drives me fucking up the wall. Ruining people's lives. Ruining people's lives. These people writing in, talking about how, fuck. This one. Help furthering my devotion association. It says, this might be a bit of a long post, but I'm going to do my best to keep it shorter and simple. I have a tendency to over-explain. I found his Hinduism and Krishna 2.5 years ago, and have since been studying, learning, and changing my entire life to be more Krishna conscious. Well, we know what that means. It says, I have changed a lot since finding Krishna and the reality of life. You didn't find the reality of life. You found a bunch of fucking nonsense. And they got you brainwashed. Reality of life. What's the reality of life? That there's a demon head eating the fucking moon? You think that's the reality? That the world is flat, sitting on the back of a turtle or unbalanced stuff? You got to be out of your goddamn mind. You think there's a spaceman floating between the planets playing a friggin' guitar going, Narayan, Narayan? You know, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody's culture. But you know what? You don't have to believe that shit is real to accept that as part of your culture. There's a lot of Hindus that don't believe that stuff is real. You don't have to. It's not a prerequisite for anything. But this friggin' Prabhupada guy, there's many conversations where Indians asked Prabhupada, hey, we don't accept this. These are stories, man. Can we just accept these stories as stories? And Prabhupada's like, no. You cannot. No, you can't. So I'm not trying to talk shit about anybody's religion or their culture or anything, but there's no spaceman floating between planets. There's just no spaceman floating between planets playing a guitar. It's just not. And there's no demon head eating the moon. It's just not happening. So when you say the reality of life, the fuck are you talking about, the reality of life? There ain't no reality of life. There's a bunch of fairy tales, fantasy land. And it goes on and says, for note, I am an American. I live in a small southern town. Oh, shit. There is a temple here in my town. It is rather small and close-knit. I have been twice this year and enjoyed my time, but also was left kind of out of the loop. Everyone knows everyone at the temple. Most don't speak English, which is fine. I don't expect them to try just for me, for my benefit. I'm simply supplying a fact of my situation. I've tried to reach out to the Pandit to ask about volunteering, but after many failed attempts and not getting sent responses, I moved on. It sounds like it's a Hindu temple. It's not a Krishna temple, and they don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's just what I think. Because if it was an ISKCON temple, they would definitely put you out selling some books. And so I don't know why they haven't gotten back to you about selling books. So my just from that little bit leads me to think that this is a Hindu temple, and they don't know what's up with you. So this is the closest other temples are 3 hours away. That sounds like the ISKCON temple, 3 hours away. It says here, I work a full-time job and I'm raising a teenager. Oh shit, that doesn't sound so good. It isn't easy for me to get the time to travel. I have plans to do so. It's just a matter of making it happen. Since April, I've been attending live podcast recordings with Wisdom of the Sages. Oh my God, what a disaster that is. Join 2 of their sage groups. Now you're getting bullshit from them. Bullshit from these 2 friggin' nuts. enjoyed the first one quite a bit, but the second one I was only able to attend one meeting due to life circumstances changing my schedule. Yeah, they're like two whacked out Goraharis, and it sounds like you're a hot lips. That's what it sounds like to me. You're hot lips, and then you got these wisdom of sages. This is. I recently, within the last 6 months or so, emailed every English-speaking ISKCON temple asking about mentorship, seva, initiation, devotee association, etc. None of them responded. I've personally reached out to 2 swamis, and after a bit, they too stopped responding. I'm doing my best to not take any of this personal, for I know that is just my ego talking. The level of brainwashing and manipulation that's already taken place, even though she's not getting anywhere. It sounds like she's not getting anywhere. She's still determined to join this misogynistic, woman-hating, child-abusing, racist, sexist, piece of shit cult. She says, but I long for a more Krishna-conscious life. I long for the association of devotees. I want to spend more time with activities that further my devotion and talk to people that understand and want the same. I feel very much on the outside. Listen, you hang out with devotees, it ain't going to get any better than it is now. It's just a life of the frustration, confusion, and depression that you're feeling now. It don't get any better. It don't get any better. It's bullshit. There's no chant and be happy. And now your life is fucked up because now you're talking about it's my ego talking. You're fully brainwashed into this bullshit. Fully brainwashed into this bullshit. It's been 2 years. They're treating you like shit. They're not getting back to you. The swamis won't talk to you. Probably because you don't live, probably because you got a kid and I don't know what it is. I can't say. But for some reason, they don't even care if you're selling books or not. I don't know what's going on. But it sounds, but this, I long for a more Krishna conscious life. You want more of this? You want more of how they're treating you? This is friggin' insanity. Insanity. And that's what this bullshit is. This is all this bullshit is. Ruining people's lives. And you got a kid, and if the kid's not into it, that's a path for this. And there's a recipe for it. And nothing good gonna come out of this. And nothing good gonna come out of this. Especially when your teenager wants to start doing stuff that normal teenagers do, and you start talking about how that's demonic, and that's karmi, and aparati, and malecha, and all this crap. And all you want to do is long for the association of doing. You want to spend more time to doing devotional service and shit, which means spend less time with your kid, less time with your family. This is the bullshit of this cult. Nothing good comes from this cult. Why can't you just chant Hare Krishna and be happy? Why can't you just chant and be happy? Why couldn't she just chant at home, read some books, and not have all this shit going on? I'm writing letters and the Swami's not getting back. Why does it have to be that way? Why can't it just be, hey, I got a book and it says I can chant, and so now I'm chanting, and boy, I feel great. This chanting is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I don't need to go to the temple. I don't need association with anybody. I don't need to sell any books. I just go home, after a hard day's work, I go home and I chant 16 rounds, and boy, I just feel great. No, it's never any of that. It's always this bullshit. This is a problem, that's a problem, blah, blah, blah. Because all they do is preach to you about how you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you can't do it. And you shame yourself and victim shame yourself and, oh, they're not getting back with me because it's my ego problem. No, it's because they're assholes and they're jerks and they don't give a fuck. That's why they're not getting back with you. It's not your problem. It's not because of you or something that you've done, because they're full of shit. They don't give a fuck about you just like they don't give a fuck about the kids. They'd rather go hang out with their child molester buddies than consider how that makes the children feel. They don't give a fuck about the children. They want to go hang out with their molester buddies. And you want to be part of this shit. If they'd rather go hang out with their molester buddies than deal with someone who's sincerely coming and trying to be part of their thing, just think what fucking assholes they are. This is not something you want to be part of. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Swear, man. And then let's take a look. Let's listen to this bullshit for a good laugh. It says, a rare pastime of Radhanath Swami. This friggin' dick. By his grace, Raj Bihari Prabhu. What his grace? The fuck has he ever done? What has he ever done that he gets the title of his grace? What has this guy ever fucking done? Chant this to refresh brain cells. God is not a rock. God is not a rock. God is a fossil.
I want to tell you a story. Then you will understand who is our Guru Maharaj. What is his, where is he coming from? Please listen to this carefully. So there is this boy, 13-year-old boy who comes to Radha Gopinath Mandir. This is in 1995, 1996, long ago. He comes into temple and is taking darshan of Radha Gopinath. That time Radhanath Swami Maharaj is leading Guru Puja and is playing Mridanga. After the Kirtan, Maharaj walks up to the altar, near the altar, and he sees this boy. Now please remember, our Guru Maharaj never goes to strangers, never talks to strangers just like that.
Nope. Magical. It's a magical mystery story. So listen carefully, because this is going to tell you who their Guru Maharaj is and how wonderful he is. This is a rare pastime of Radhanath. Dickie Slavin. Let's get it straight. This is Dickie Slavin cosplaying as a Swami, and when he's cosplaying, he calls himself Radhanath Swami. And this guy thinks that this Radhanath Swami is some kind of holy man. Okay, so that's the context.
But everybody was shocked. You know what Maharaj did? Maharaj just arbitrarily, randomly walked up to this young boy, 8th standard boy, 13-year-old boy, and hugged him and told him, and this boy has come to the temple for the first time. And you know what Maharaj told him? Maharaj told him, why have you come here? Have you come to get shelter of Krishna?
Wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So this 13-year-old boy comes to the temple first time, and Radhanath Swami, who never talks to anybody, because he's a dick. He's Dickie Slavin, and he's an asshole, and he's so puffed up and full of himself that he never speaks with anyone. So he sees this. He just randomly walks up to some 13-year-old boy, gives him a hug, and says, "Hey, why did you come here?" Because that's such a out of the ordinary question to ask. Why did you come to the temple? Did you come to get shelter of Krishna? But like who except Maharaj would ask such a profound question?
Maharaj very lovingly asked him, Now, this boy did not know what to answer. He's coming first time, and just out of politeness and courtesy, he said, "Yes, yes, I want Krishna." So then Maharaj laughed in his characteristic style. And then Maharaj said, "Yes, please come every day. Krishna is waiting for you. Krishna wants you." And then Maharaj laughed and Maharaj walked away.
Wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that friggin' amazing? That Dickie Slavin would do that. That he would say, yes, come every day to my temple because I want to make money off of you. So come to my temple every day. Krishna wants you, which means I want your money. So, and then he laughed and he walked away. Wow, what an amazing story. Isn't that? That's just simply friggin' amazing. It's simply amazing.
Everybody was shocked. Why did Maharaj go to this stranger boy
Everyone
and tell
was
him randomly that Krishna is waiting for you?
everyone was shocked. Everyone was shocked because that never happens. I mean, oh my goodness, it's transcendental mercy, right? It's just transcendental mercy.
Come back to Krishna doesn't make any logical sense. But as the events began to unfold, lot of things became clear to me. This boy started coming to temple once in a few days. Then he came to 9th standard. Then he came few times. Then one day would not come. Like any other person who comes to temple. Then he came to 10th. Then he came little more often. Then 11th and 12th. Then he got into engineering college, one of the top engineering colleges in Mumbai. Then he started chanting rounds from 4 rounds, 6 rounds, 8 rounds. And he was also Sanskrit Pandit because his family culture is like that. So he was studying Sanskrit parallelly. Meanwhile, he came to 16 rounds and he got initiated one day. And he also got married to a devotee girl from our community. And then he got a job in America and we became very close friends. And he also had 2 daughters, 2 children. And I always felt that, and when his children were born, I realized that there is something mystical in his family.
Oh yeah,
I
something.
said, "Prabhu, you are
Something. From all of that, he deduced that there's something mystical in his
not
family.
ordinary person. There is something special in your family because when I see your children, I see that they are very, very special. So can you share? Is there something you are carrying in your heart, which is a secret?" He said, "No, no, no, Prabhu, we are fallen grahasthas. Radhana Swami Maharaj is very merciful to me. You know that I was coming to temple, Maharaj caught me and Maharaj told me, Krishna is waiting for you. So causeless mercy I got, Prabhuji. That's why we are all devotee. We have no qualification. We are nothing special." I said, "No, no, no. Maharaj gave you mercy, I know. But other than that, also there is something special in your family. I want to know what it is because your daughter, when she was 2, 3 years old, she was chanting Radharani's name, Krishna's name. And when you see his daughters, they look like they have come out of the altar. They are extremely divinely beautiful. And this girl, the older daughter, when she was 8 or
This is the where am I here? Why can't I get there? This is pure insanity. This is pure insanity. So, let's just put it in perspective and just, let me just put it back in. Let me put it back into English. I know something mystical. I noticed she was a pretty nice looking Kiwi. She had some nice looking Kiwi there. You got some nice Kiwi there, buddy. I like that. You got any good rice, by the way? You got any good rice? Something mystical. Something mystical was happening. But let's put it in a 35 years ago or whatever, 30 years ago, this teenager walks into the temple, and it just so happens that Dickie Slavin was there, and Dickie Slavin, did something that he doesn't usually do. He walked up to a stranger and said, "Hey," gave him a hug and said, "Hey, thanks for coming to the temple. Did you come here to get Krishna or whatever?" Which is like what every person that tells us is so stupid. Okay, so he says that, which is like the totally normal thing that you would expect this Radhanath to say to some kid. So he says, "Yeah, I guess I did come to get Krishna," and then lo and behold, he comes back over a period of time. He becomes a devotee. He starts chanting. He marries a devotee. He moves to America to do whatever, gets a visa, goes to America, got some kids. He's a devotee. His wife's a devotee. And lo and behold, his daughter is chanting Hare. His daughters are chanting Hare Krishna. And this guy thinks that's amazing. That is so really mystical. There's something, there's something mystical about. There's something really mystical. I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on it, but there is definitely something mystical going on.
9, she had started cooking. And when she was 13, she was a Sanskrit Mahapandit. And when she was 12, she was Pandit. And when she was 13, she got initiated. 16 rounder devotee at the age of 30. Now she's 18. Extremely beautiful, cultured. I feel she, and one guru in ISKCON, he was about to leave this world. And he got this inspiration that this girl should be my disciple. He contacted her father, that is my friend, and told him, I want to initiate your daughter. And before leaving this world, he initiated.
Yes, definitely, definitely something mystical. She had some kiwi that was out of this world. That this guy, all because Dickie Slavin hugged this guy. Dickie Slavin hugged this guy, and now they're just all crazy over his daughter's kiwi. They they can't get enough. They cannot get enough, boy.
That girl in the parampara. So I told her how this is a mystical happening. She said, no, Prabhuji, we are fallen grahasthas. She was the same mantra they would chant. We are all very ordinary grahasthas. But when I used to see his daughters, I saw that they have natural attraction for Vrindavan, Govardhan. So, that girl one day told me, Prabhuji, I have some questions for you. My papa says I should ask you. So I said, okay, let us go on a walk. So we went on a walk. I had gone to US, I had gone to their city. So we went on a walk after Prasadam. Now remember, this is a 14-year-old girl asking me questions. She's saying, Prabhuji, Jiva Goswami says in Bhakti Sandarbha, and she quoted some verse. And then she said, Prabhupada says in Nectar of Devotion. And then she said, how do we reconcile? I was so amazed by that question. I said, wow, that question revealed how deeply she has studied.
Wow.
Prabhupada books. I said, excellent. What is your next question? So then she asked me the second question, something like that only. From Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says in 13th chapter, and then Bhagavatam, Kapila Dev says this. I said, wow, ask me the third question. Like that, she asked me 10 questions. Instead of answering any of her questions, I kept telling her, ask me the next question. After 10 questions, she said, what is this, Prabhuji? You're not answering any question. You're only telling me to ask questions. I said, what to do? I don't have any answer for your questions. Your father is a big Pandit, Sanskrit Pandit. You are a big Pandit. You already know the answers. I'm just enjoying hearing your questions because I'm realizing how blessed you are. She said, no, Prabhuji, we don't know any.
So he couldn't answer the questions, just like Prabhupada couldn't answer the questions. I can't tell you how King Ugrasena had 4 billion servants. I just can't do it. I'm not gonna. Hey, how you doing, Jenna? Jenna Morton, good to see you here. So yeah, he's like, I can't answer these questions, and you already know the answer. The answer is what Prabhupada says. And if Prabhupada says two different things, two different places, then they're both correct. That's there's no other answer for that.
Answers. Papa says that you are the one who can answer us. We are all fallen grahasthas. We are useless. That mood of humility was so sweet, so spontaneous, so natural. And the daughter, whenever she gets a holiday, she will take a plane ticket, come to New Delhi, take a taxi, go to Radhakund, Vrindavan, Govardhan, stay there for 5 days, 6 days, then go back to America. You ask them I ask her, what do you love the most? Do you love football, politics, movies?
That doesn't mean anything. I used to do that too. I worked when I was working. I would take vacation and I would go to Vrindavan. I'd take my daughter with me. I was brainwashed. I was brainwashed just like her. What is it? Was I under some mystical? No. Why is everything magical and mystical? No. I wanted to go to Vrindavan. I wanted to go to India. I wanted to go hang out. in India. I thought it was cool. It was like camping. It was fun. A lot of people do that. Well, she's nothing special. Why is everything mad? Why? Well, because Dickie Slavin hugged her dad, and then she turned into some incredible devotee who vacations in Vrindavan. Is that what he's trying to say? Is that the point of this whole
Nothing.
thing?
She only loves Vrindavan. This is not ordinary, you know. I used to tell him, Prabhu, there is something special in your family.
Something special because she goes to Vrindavan. She vacations. First he couldn't answer the question. So why should I listen to anything he has to say? If you can't answer a 13-year-old's questions about Krishna consciousness, she's got like 10 really hard questions that you can't answer. And then you want me to believe anything that you have to say when you can't even answer the questions of some 13-year-old girl? And you're His Grace Raj Bihari Prabhu, and you can't answer this girl. She should be Her Grace Raj Bihari Prabhu, not you. She's the one she's the one who's thinking. You're the one just sitting there going, well, I don't know. That's a fucking idiot. He can't even answer the question of a 13-year-old girl. I mean, I'm not saying, she's got some good questions. I bet she's got some really good questions this guy couldn't answer. This guy had no answer for. Stumped by a 13-year-old girl. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Stumped by a 13-year-old girl. And he wants to sit there and call himself His Grace. And he wants to sit on a Vyasasana and lecture people and tell them right from wrong, good from bad, and all that shit. Just like this guy. He wants to sit there and he's gonna lecture you about conquering lust. Like he knows anything about lust.
In the previous session, we discussed Karma Yoga, the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In this third chapter, so far, Krishna spoke about the art of doing one's prescribed duties without any attachment. There are two kinds of yoga practitioners that Krishna speaks about in this chapter in the beginning: Karma Yogis and Gnana Yogis. Karma Yogi is one who tries to perform one's prescribed duties and offers the results to the Supreme and cultivates a detached spirit. He's a Karma Yogi. Means he's acting according to his nature, his Svabhava, and trying to connect with the Supreme Lord while working according to one's nature. That is Karma Yoga. But Gnana Yogis are on the platform of knowledge.
So here's another one. Again, these guys think that because they're joined ISKCON and they put on this orange outfit, that somehow they've magically elevated themselves to the position of monk or sage or learned person who can sit and lecture on the Bhagavad Gita because ISKCON says, yeah, go sit on the Vyasa and give a lecture, and anybody, so these people think that they think that because they're reading Prabhupada's books, they're reading Prabhupada's translation and they're reading Prabhupada's purport, and that's all it takes. Is that I can read his translation, I can read his verse, read his translation, and read his purport, and then I can lecture about it. Why not? That's what these guys are doing. I undo it too. Like anybody can anybody can do that. Like that's just because you read Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and his Bhagavatam. Now you can sit there and lecture people on Conquering Lust, chapter 3, verse 25 through 43. You call yourself Garanga Darshan Das? The nerve of these people. The nerve of these people. Yeah, they're retards. Retards are us. Mental. They're mental patients. They're cosplaying mental patients. Cosplaying mental patients. These idiots. Wisdom of the sages. Whoops. How do I get this to play? I'll just play it in here, I guess.
Platform for the Wisdom of Sages podcast. I've known this guy since we were teens in the Lower East Side as monks. Then we became monks.
All right, that's too funny. Okay, I want to comment on this.
We were teens in the Lower East Side as punks. Then we became monks.
They became monks. Isn't that amazing? They became monks, and
then we became yoga teachers.
And then they became yoga teachers. Wow, that's amazing! Isn't that amazing? And then we became yoga teachers. Like you can just become a monk and then become a yoga teacher. Like, I'm not a monk anymore. Like, it's totally a disgrace and an insult. It's just insulting and offensive to actual monks. Like, these guys are from New York. They're from the Lower East Side. They were punk rockers, whatever they were doing, musicians, probably owned a couple guitars, probably had a bunch of equipment, and they're playing punk rock in these clubs and doing whatever. And they become devotees, Hare Krishnas, and then they decide they're going to become monks because Prabhupada says that they're monks. So they become monks. Like, you can just become a monk like that. Like you can have a little thing, and then you're now a holy man. Now you're a holy man because someone had a little fire sacrifice, and you chanted a little thing, and somebody chanted on your beads, and you shaved your head, and now somehow magically you're a holy man. You're a monk. You're a holy man. You're calling yourself a monk. We became a monk. I was a punk, and then we became monks. Hey, it's like a sitcom. First we were walking down the street. We were punk rockers walking down the street, and ding, we got hit in the head by a tambourine, and we became Hare Krishnas, and now we're monks. Hey, and then follow us for the hilarity as we board this bus and travel across America. We were punks, and now we're monks. Hey, on the new episode of Wisdom of the Idiots. You just become a monk because somebody made a fire and you threw some rice in the fire and you said swaha and you offered a banana in there and they gave you some name and now you're a monk. It's fucking bullshit. You're just a cosplaying friggin' idiot. And you think that you're a sage? You're gonna call yourself a sage? Wisdom of the sage? You two, these two guys, wisdom of the sages. Two punk rockers that got conned into joining a pedophile cult are now sages and say that they have wisdom. You're fucking out of your mind. Out of your fucking mind. I'll get back to this. Let me get. They gave sannyas to 15 sick men recently at fake Premanandas. Yeah, I heard they gave like a Ritvik initiation too. So it's like the people's lives are being ruined as we speak. People are joining this crap and having their lives fucked up. Hi, from Armenia. Hey, from Armenia, how you doing? Hey, you're way over there. It's good to see you, 6035. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're in the right room. I really do. Punk the monk, the yoga teacher is fucking ridiculous, man. Look at this, friggin' ridiculous. This is so foolishness. I got the foolishness, the foolishness of this girl. So, like a real monk, a real sannyasi, a real, if you want to say like a real holy man, a real man dedicated to his religion and all that. He doesn't become a monk and then just go, oh, I'm done being a monk. I'm going to go back to I'm going to go sell shoes now. Or I'm going to go, I lived in a hut I met these guys, like these Babajis and shit. I live in a cage down by the Bhagirati River or whatever, and I have my little thing set up, and I get oil for my lamp, and I get a food. I beg for some food, and I just sit here and I just read Bhagavad Gita all day, and then I hang out with my friends. My Swami buddies come over and we read Bhagavad Gita together, and then they go home, and then I go to sleep, and I get up and I do it all over again tomorrow. And he doesn't quit. He doesn't quit and go, oh, I'm done. I'm packing it up. I'm gonna go back to be I'm gonna go be a punk rocker again, or I'm gonna go. No, that's his life. That's what that guy deserves some respect. I don't think that he's any closer to God or any. But I respect him a lot more than I respect these guys. The guy that I met in Deo Prayag that lived in a cave down where the river came together, and he had this little cave down there, and he was kind of a scary. I gotta tell you the truth, he's kind of a scary guy. Him and his buddies were kind of scary. But they lived in this cave. He lived in this cave, and he had his little lamp, and he had his little deity, his little altar, little deity, and he slept on a mat, and that was his life in there. And he just sat there reading Bhagavad Gita all day, and his buddies would come over, and they would sit there and read. That was a real dude, man. That's like Vyasadeva or whatever. That's as close as as close to a holy man as you're gonna get. He was like a real holy man guy, and he didn't have a temple or anything. He lived in a cave by himself. He had a couple friends that came. I guess followers. I don't know. They weren't really followers, but I guess they were like Swami buddies or whatever. He may have had one disciple, I guess, maybe one guy that was doing stuff for him. So I guess maybe he had that one guy. But I don't even think he wasn't really I don't even know. I think he was just a buddy. But anyway, that's a sage. That's a real dude. He looked like this guy up there. He looked like the guy with the knot on his head and the beard and the mustache. That's what this guy, not these guys, these jokers with their sitting in the middle of the street acting like, hey, I'm Mr. Yoga teacher, whatever. I'm going to sit there now. I used to be a monk, which they weren't even monks. I used to cosplay as a monk, and now I'm cosplaying as a yoga teacher, but I'm not even really a yoga teacher. I just say I'm a yoga teacher because all I'm really doing is just chanting and selling these friggin' books. Conning people with these books. Friggin'. There's two more Goraharis. That's all they are. There's two more Goraharis doing the Gorahari. That's all they are. They're doing the Gorahari. We're going to just scam people online. And we're going to act like we know what we're talking about. Because we used to be monks, and now we were punks, and then monks, and now we're yoga teachers. Because we weren't any good at being punks, and we weren't any good at being monks. So now we're going to be yoga teachers, and we're going to just scam people online and talk about inferiority and the comparison trap and Einstein, Bhakti Yoga, and illusion of consciousness, all that other crap. And look at this stuff. This is such bullshit. Ruining people's lives with this Prabhupada crap. Splitting up families, telling people to leave their families, and child marriage and racism and sexism and all that crap that's in Prabhupada's books. All of that crap, that's what they're promoting. That's what this is all about. Promoting Prabhupada's books and his friggin' cult. That's all that is. He's like the person said, since April, I've been attending live podcast recordings with Wisdom of the Sages. Joined 2 of their sage groups. So this person who's all confused and want help furthering my devotion, who is feeling frustrated with ISKCON or Krishna consciousness because it's changed her life, but yet she's not getting any enjoyment out of it because all of her requests at volunteering and whatever, it's all failed. Everything's failed. She's not getting responses. She's moving on. She's writing letters, getting no response. She's talking to swamis. They're giving her her ghosting her, and she's blaming herself for it. Don't blame yourself for it. These people are jerks and assholes. They don't give a fuck. And she's listening to these people, and they're not helping the situation at all, making it worse. That's what they're doing. So I wanted to get into this. I got to get into this one. This is a guy. So I've been talking about this for a long time. I've been talking about how people join the Hare Krishnas and then they leave and they don't even realize what they were in because I don't know what they were doing. I don't know how it happens, but this guy, I believe this guy is one of them. He was in it for a while, and you're going to hear his story. And let's hear what he has to say a little bit. We'll hear a little bit about what he has to say. So let's see. I don't know what's up with him.
Share with you something that I've been going through personally that'll have a little bit of an impact on my work and my channel and stuff like that. It's nice to see all of you. I'd love to see where you're coming in from, just as more.
You can see he's got his Bhagavatams on his bookcase back there. He's got all his Bhagavatams back there. Man, I don't know what else he's got. Looks like he's got a full set of Bhagavatams.
Where people sort of arrive. Let's see. Australia, nice to see you. Finland, improvisationally, but this is a tough one for me. This is a really big change that has come into my life that I'm making, and I just want to kind of explain that change and why I'm making it. Yeah, I guess just ask for your prayers and blessings on the decision too, as a lot of you are friends, colleagues, students, things like that. So yeah, I would say the big news is that I'm made the decision last week and let all of my gurus know, my mentors, teachers, the big people in my life, that after a pretty long process of inner turmoil and discernment, through a lot of prayer and through my daily sadhana, I've come to a space where I've realized that it's not quite the right fit for me to be a part of.
Okay, so you notice he said internal he said internal turmoil, and you know, he's making it sound like it wasn't an easy decision. It was like a lot going on. To you know, to come, you know, to get to this point. And so, like I was saying, even people that don't experience abuse or realize that their guru is a child molester, or their guru falls down or anything like that. People, and I guess, you know, in ISKCON, if you have a guru and you're doing whatever, you're selling books for him or donating to him, and you're living your life, and you're whatever, I guess they can be isolated. I was not isolated in that way, but I guess people can live a life where they're isolated and they don't realize what's going on, like all of the child abuse and all the domestic abuse and all the racism and the sexism and all the crap in the books and the child marriage. I don't know. I guess if you're just if you keep your head down and your guru on your mind and you're out selling books every night at the Hollywood Bowl or whatever, I guess the reality of this cult can just slip by. I don't know. I don't know how that happens, but I guess it can. I guess it can.
Of the Hare Krishna tradition, and so in doing that, I'm returning to my given name, Adam Ellenboss. I won't be going by Achyuta Bhava anymore, and I want to. It's a really personal decision, and it's not one that I've taken lightly at all. It's been a painstaking process of reflecting on this choice, and finally coming to make the choice over probably about a year and a half.
See, and this is the thing that I was saying. I think the last time I was on was, even people that just leave, it's still an ordeal just to leave. It's like he's saying all this stuff going on. You know, just giving up. Like, I'm going back to my name. I'm not going to be Achyuta Bhava Das anymore. You know, it's like all this. It's not like, oh, I'm just, you know, oh, I was Hare Krishna, no, I'm not. No, it's like just leave. This is what's called exit cost. It's like, it's not like they go, oh, well, you can just leave anytime you want. Yeah, but look, it took him a year to figure out if he was going to leave or not. The whole mechanism, the whole thing, and changing his name, and now there's a lot going on. Yeah, you can just leave whenever you want, but that doesn't mean there's no cost involved. There's a big cost involved. He's explaining it now, even though it doesn't touch on any of the controversial stuff, really, other than the manipulation and the brainwashing. But whoops.
On this choice, and finally coming to make the choice over probably about a year and a half. So I just want to tell you a little bit about that. And so it's not just like suddenly I'm going by Adam again. And those of you who knew me before I took initiation in the Hare Krishna tradition knew me as Adam anyway. So for some people, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I knew you as Adam and welcome back, and I don't really care, you know, because you're, you know, but a lot.
So he says Hare Krishna tradition. You knew me in the Hare Krishna tradition. He's still got the book sitting there. So it's not like he hasn't had the realization. It doesn't sound like he's had the realization that this is a dangerous cult.
A lot of people will have questions, like, and so I just want to say some things, and I've just written some notes down to help me get through it so that it's as thoughtful as it can be. So I let all of my mentors and guru know about my decision last week. And I've taken a week to figure out exactly what I wanted to say publicly to people who follow me and know me, and I don't know, rely on me for some spiritual, you know, information. Like a lot of people come to my channel to listen to astrology, and so this may be of no interest to you whatsoever, and that's fine. And I get that. But some of you also look at my channel as a place of spiritual inspiration, and so when someone suddenly leaves a religion that they have belonged to faithfully, you might wonder what's going on. And it could have the effect of, you know, like, is this a steady place where I can still tune in for spiritual wisdom or something like that. So I just wanted to, on that level, just talk a little bit about why I'm making this change. First of all, the change has nothing to do with my core values. Daily prayer, daily spiritual practice, daily conversation with the divine, and the overall vibrations of a devotional lifestyle that's just who I am, and that's not going anywhere. That remains at the center of my life. And it's never been about that. At its very core, to me, bhakti is about devotion to the divine. And so I consider myself a bhakti yogi insofar as that's never going to change. And that's been my path since I was a little kid. Bhakti is one of numerous beautiful traditions on our planet that emphasize love and devotion to God in and through your daily life, through ritual and practice and liturgy and scripture and all sorts of things. Most of you know that I was raised a preacher's kid in a really open-minded church. And like I said, this has been my MO since I was little. I was raised in a family of thoughtful, open-minded, God-loving hippies, basically. Like my dad would give a sermon, we'd come home, we might listen to Led Zeppelin. So, I grew up in a pretty open-minded faith household that emphasized devotion. Whether you're devotion comes through art that you make and using your God-given talents to be creative, or in the way that you love people, or in the way that you practice a faith path, whatever that faith path might be. It's always been about devotion and love of the divine and all of its mystery and beauty and even its pain. And that's never changed in my life. I've always been like that. I thank my parents for raising me that way, or whatever good karma I have for being on a path that to me has been, really a blessing. And that doesn't change for me. So the decision is not about any of that. My faith has been shaped by 10 years of drinking ayahuasca in the Amazon, in various different yogic and spiritual communities, through all sorts of nut jobs in the New Age community that I've loved and spent time with, and I open myself to being influenced spiritually by different people, and I've always had a kind of interfaith personality.
I was muted. I was muted on that. This guy, he sounds like he sounds like a good guy. He sounds like a good guy if he wasn't in the Hare Krishnas. Like he sounds like a spiritual kind of guy. Like he was a guy that loves God, the universe, the oneness, everything, how everything's working. And sounds like he's be a spiritual kind of guy if he wasn't mixed up in the Hare Krishnas. What he's talking about, the way he's talking, doesn't sound Krishna like at all. Like the way he sounds doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like Krishna stuff. I think that's where the conflict is like maybe he took some psychedelic drugs and he took some psychedelic drugs and it kind of opened up his mind, and I don't know, he started thinking like, the Krishna thing is not, first of all, it's not the free and loving of the free thinking and loving of God and all of these spiritual higher truths or higher levels or whatever you want to make it, that they want you to think it is. I mean, you get in there and it's a very hateful, cold, hard, where you're not the body and nobody's real, and there's no need to love anything because you really just need to love Krishna, and really there's only lust. There's just love of Krishna and lust, and your family's not your family, and your kids aren't your kids, and your parents aren't your parents, and just shun everybody who's not a Hare Krishna. That's not a spiritual understanding. Like only interact with material people or karmis if you're giving them books or to preach to them. That's not a spiritual way to live. That's not a spiritual attitude. He sounds like a spiritual guy that got caught up in this cult.
So I just want to start by saying that my decision to leave the Hare Krishna tradition and to return to my name it has nothing to do with the core values of bhakti, the core values.
The core values of bhakti is not what he thinks it is. The core values of bhakti is surrendering to a bona fide spiritual master, rendering service to him, and he will impart the truth to you because he's seen the truth. That's bhakti. Lord Chaitanya's bhakti, Sankirtan movement, bhakti yoga, chanting the holy names of the Lord and distributing this transcendental message by pleasing the spiritual. It's all has to do with pleasing the spiritual master. It all has to do with being subordinate to this guru, and you just being this pawn with no identity, no original thoughts, no ideas. You're told who to love, who to hate, who to care about, where to go, what to do, what to think, how to spend your time. All of that. That's not being a free thinker and loving God. Not at all. And I can understand why, if this guy came to his senses and realized that, hey, serving this guru and serving this mission isn't what I thought. This is not this is not my core values. But I think he's trying to say, I haven't changed, or he's trying to change back. He's trying to change back into who he was. I don't know.
The goal and life path for me sort of are the same. So if you're a student or a subscriber or a client of mine or a colleague, I just want everybody to know that despite this change I'm making, and I'll say more about why I'm making it, but you can trust that I'm going to come from the same space every day when I create content, which is that, prayer, daily meditation and prayer remain a very important part of my life. The study and immersion in sacred texts from different world traditions remains a very important part of my life. Spiritual integrity, storytelling, and looking for the footprints or invisible fingertips, the almost imperceptible handprint of the divine in our lives, that nothing about that changes for me. I have tried to come from that space day in and day out for going on 13 years of professional astrology and service to the community. And from that space of daily devotion to the people I serve and to the divine presence that permeates my life and everything, nothing changes. So I just wanted to start by saying that so that people understand that the reasons I'm about to give for why I'm leaving the tradition have nothing to do with the core values.
Okay, well now he's really got me. He's really got me wondering why he's leaving. Poor man, he needs to join Mike's live class to understand who Prabhupada really is. Yeah, we're gonna find out because he's about to. He's about. It sounds like he's. I'm not trying to give the guy a hard time, but it sounds like he's trying to explain away this mistake that he made. That's what I think. He's not going to say I made a mistake, and I've been part of this. I've been part of this cult. I don't think he wants to say that. That's I can understand. I can understand that. I think he doesn't want to say I made a mistake. I think he's trying to say, hey, I'm still who I am. And but anyway, he needs to learn the truth. We're gonna figure it. He's gonna spill the beans. I think he's gonna spill the beans right here. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see.
So, and it's also, the thing is that although I'm going to list some reasons for leaving, my decision comes from my heart and not from my head, right? If it were as simple as coming up with a list of reasons for staying or leaving a religious tradition, I would have had my mind made up a long time ago. And if my head could be the only thing that, kept me on a path or took me off a path, the decisions would be simple bullet points.
When my family, when we stopped going to church every Sunday, somewhere around, I don't know, first grade for me, first grade, maybe second grade, I don't know. We stopped going to church every Sunday. There was none of this. There was none of this mental reasons for not going to church. We just stopped going. We just stopped. My mom and dad didn't want to go anymore, and I didn't want to go. I mean, we just stopped going. I was a little kid. We just stopped going. We just went less and less until we just didn't go anymore. But my mom didn't write out a list of reasons why we're not going and nail them to the church door or whatever. There was no mental gymnastics to figure out why we're not going to church. He must eat a burger with his left hand. Yeah, I don't know. He sounds like he's a vegetarian. He might be a vegetarian, so I don't know. But yeah, he definitely has to eat in order to officially be out of the cult. He does.
The truth is that when the heart knows that it's on a path or that it shouldn't be on a path, it won't stop knocking on the door and trying to talk to you about it. And that's been my experience. And so this decision comes from my heart, not so much my head. And so it's hard to explain. It's hard to share with people. And it came, for example, through countless hours of conversations with several mentors in my life, especially among others, my Jungian therapist. Came from several dear friends whose heart spaces I treasure. Most of all came from my wife, who's listened to me work through this decision for a year and a half. And it has been...
It's taken a year and a half to come up with this, to finally make this decision. It's like he started thinking about it a year and a half ago. It took him a whole year and a half to finally leave. And I know when I think back on my own experience, it took me a long time too. When I think back on it, the part of my brain says it happened quickly. It happened quick. But when I actually look at photographs and I put a timeline together of when my wife passed away until my mother passed away, because that's when I actually left and moved out and broke away. That was a long time. And the time when I actually decided, hey, there's something wrong with this, there was a long period of time from when I pretty much didn't consider myself a Hare Krishna anymore to actually moving out of my apartment and moving away from the community. So it didn't happen as quick as my brain wants it to be, like, oh, it happened, like everything happened. No, it took time. And hearing him say it reminds me that it does take time. It's not.
So it feels sort of disingenuous to give some list of reasons for why I'm leaving when it's been such a heart process. But like I said, I know that people look to my channel as a place of spiritual integrity and learning. And there's a lot of people within the Hare Krishna tradition that watch my channel as well. And I have a lot of love and respect for those individuals and for the different kinds of people who watch my content. And although I honestly don't always understand it, people say that they find me to be something of a source of guidance. I feel like, outside of being on a camera, I'm quite a mess up, but the fact that people feel that way and that I dedicate this channel to spiritual service and astrology, I do feel like I want to say a few things and give a few reasons. So this is the number one reason. Over the past few years since joining the Hare Krishna tradition, I began to observe within myself. This is hard, sorry. Just a tendency, and it's not specific to this tradition. It's a pattern within me that has been there through my whole life, and I'll say more about that in a second. But again, I began to observe within myself a tendency toward austerity and seriousness in my spiritual life, as well as an element, though not super strong, but an element of religious fanaticism. And I began to recognize it as a recurring pattern in my life, and this feeling of just being ready to put it down. That I'm actively trying to embrace a path of walking with the divine that is more about joy and less about seriousness.
Okay, so, well, he's got a point there, because there's not a lot of joy in the Hare Krishna. There's a lot of hate, a lot of racism, sexism, bigotry, homophobia, this type of body, that type of body, female body, black body, Mexican body, Indian body, this body, that body. There's a lot of weird mental things going on in a Hare Krishna community. If he's got a guru, he's got God brothers, he's got a whole thing going on with his guru. It's not a happy place. I agree with him, and that's what it sounds like. Of course, this guy just can't come out and just say things. He's not going to speak plain English. That's one thing. So everything he's saying, we have to kind of decode it.
That's committed, but not fanatical. And people, you only know me in a very public way. But these are my inner experiences of how I've related to the divine. And
look what this cult has done to this guy. He's got him in tears. He's trying to. He just wants to explain why he's leaving. Let's say like a yoga studio. If it was just an ordinary yoga studio, and you go, okay, I'm going to this yoga studio, and I've been going to this yoga studio for 10 years, and then you go, I'm giving up yoga now, and I'm gonna take up badminton or something. It's like, would you go through this whole emotional thing about? I mean, people stop doing one thing and they start doing something else, and he's got a whole list of reasons. He's crying. It's been emotional. His wife it's taken him 1.5 years to go through this whole thing. He just wants to be happy. He just wants to be a happy spiritual person in life. And this cult has got him so messed up. He's got to leave this cult, and just talking about it's got him in tears.
So a lot of it comes from the fact that, when I was a kid, my dad was a minister and had a very public fall from his faith that was
And he wants to, and he's looking for any excuse he can to explain why he joined the Hare Krishnas and why he's leaving it. It's like my upbringing, and I've got patterns of being this or that in my life. We've all got reasons. You don't have to try and explain. He really does. He doesn't. He just needs to be honest and say this is a dangerous cult. It's destructive. It's harmful. It harmed my mental health. It turned me into someone I didn't want to be. I became fanatical. I started hating everybody. I mean, this is really what he's trying to say. Everybody's a karmi. Everybody's a malecha. Everyone is a yavana. Everybody's a whatever, a mayavadi, karma, whatever it is that was upsetting him. I just and then I had questions about it, and I realized that these gurus, they're not holy men. A lot of them are molesting children and abusing women, and the teachings are horrible. The teaching is teaching about women having small brain. I mean, he's got to know some of this stuff. But I can understand. I can understand if he's got a channel, he's got a YouTube channel, he's got followers, he's got a whole audience. Come out and say, hey, man, I got involved with this friggin' satanic cult. That's what it's going to sound like. I got involved with a satanic cult, and I got to get out. I mean, the whole time I thought I was a Chuchabava Das or whatever, and I turned out to be friggin' this evil supervillain. Hey, Cat Day. 6159. What's the topic? The topic is this guy leaving Hare Krishnas. He's having a hard time. He's having a hard time articulate why he left the Hare Krishnas.
Very ungrounding for me. And since then, through a variety of life adventures in religion, the pattern has been about looking to fill a hole that was left from what were some pretty devastating events in my religious identity, which was my family identity. So it was really woven together in a complicated way. And in almost every attempt that I've ever made to repair those old wounds, I guess you could say, I found myself trying, but failing to identify myself with a new religion or group or sacrament or philosophy. And none of those paths are the issue, right? I'm not trying to say that there's something wrong or fanatical about anything, whether it's been the ayahuasca community or the Hare Krishna community or anything. I'm not blaming any of them or judging any of them, but just recognizing that this pattern is not working for me and has not worked for me.
So it sounds like you tried to combine ayahuasca community with the Hare Krishna community, and I don't know. Maybe he had a breakdown or a breakthrough. I don't know. One or the other. He either had a breakdown or a breakthrough. It sounds like he had a breakthrough, and the breakthrough was leaving the Hare Krishnas. That's what it sounds like to me.
And in some way, each of these attempts to identify myself with a religion or religious philosophy has eventually become prohibitive to my daily devotion to the divine. I'm not suggesting that religion itself is bad or problematic, but for me, it's been the issue of religious identification. You guys have probably heard me reference a book that I read in this past year that's had a huge impact on me. It was called Religious But Not Religious, Living a Symbolic Life by a Jungian analyst and author named Jason Smith. He talks in his book about the delicate balance between living a religious life, a symbolic life, but there's also a trap or temptation of becoming religiously identified. To put it simply, I would say that some elements of my seeking to heal a religious wound, combined with not super bad, but like a small element of religious fanaticism in my psychology, has consistently stood in the way of my most honest daily connection with God.
Let me get some of these comments. Jenna Morton, the cult destroys your self-esteem. Too much guilt tripping. Everything is impure, etc. Yeah, well, the cult, when you become a Hare Krishna, so the first thing with this guy, when you become a Hare Krishna, you get your spiritual name, which is like, oh, I got my spiritual name, but basically it's just breaking you down to lose your identity, and you're just another devotee. You're just another devotee with your devotee name, and you're really, you're just a subordinate to your guru or Prabhupada or whoever, and so you have no real identity of being. You're a book. You're just like everybody else. So you really have no. The only identity you really have is your name. I'm this. I'm that. Whatever. Otherwise, you're just another devotee. And if you have no identity, you have no self-esteem. You have no, and that's what they want. That's what keeps them out selling books. That's why Radharani has no problem going out and selling books at the Hollywood Bowl every fucking night, and coming back with $20 or $50 or whatever it is. You got no self-esteem to want to do anything else. I'm just I'm a devotee. I'm a lowly ass devotee. But I feel sorry for this guy. I mean, he is a victim of this cult. But I feel like he's trying to explain it away and excuse the cult and blame it on himself, almost. Like blaming himself for this whole thing.
So that's the truth. That's what I've come to realize. That is the number one reason that I've recognized the need to put down formal identification with the Hare Krishna tradition and with this, having a spiritual name for my initiation and so forth. So I think it's really, it's miraculous and mysterious to me that the practice of bhakti, of mantra meditation, would be the vehicle by means of which these realizations came to me. I am deeply thankful for that, and that paradox is not lost on me, that it would be from within the heart of a daily mantra meditation practice that I would come to recognize that bhakti yoga itself has been a bit of a mismatch for me, gives me nothing but just gratitude.
I don't know, man. I'm all confused. I'm very confused. Chant and you'll never see any result nor so-called spiritual progress. It's all fake and phony. Yeah, you'll never see any spiritual progress. You can train yourself to be. You think it's making you happy. It's not really making you happy, but you can train yourself. Like you train yourself to. You can go to the gym and work yourself sore to where your whole body hurts, and you'll come out going, "Yeah, I'm." Because it's just endorphins in the brain. It's just so rude awakening. Rude. This guy, I feel sorry for this guy. He realized bhakti yoga is not for him. But I don't know. He's getting very emotional over this whole thing, but he's not saying much. I mean, he's not saying much. He's not saying. He's not explaining what's getting him so emotional over the whole thing. He's saying, "Hey, it wasn't the right mix for me. I'm more of a spiritual person, and I felt like this is what I'm getting out of it. Bhakti yoga was too confining. It was too much of a construct that I had to stay within. I wanted to be a little bit more free and be like outside the box and not be inside the box. And so the the whole bhakti thing and the mantra meditation and being a Hare Krishna, the whole tradition, the Krishna tradition was it was too confining for me. It was too much for me. I'm more of a ayahuasca guy. I'm more of a out there guy, but I'm still really into God and the universe and the one and the this and the that, which I get, and I understand it. I get it, but I don't understand what is so upsetting to him. I don't understand what's so upsetting to him. I don't understand why he's getting so emotional over leaving this cult. I don't get it. Yeah, that's what someone's saying. They gave sannyas to 15 new idiots. 15 new scammers. 15 new scammers that are going to go out in the world and start preaching and ruining more people's lives, just like this guy. And I'm not going to say they ruined his life. I'm not going to say they ruined his life, but look at him. He's crying. He just wants to get out of the Hare Krishnas and get back to his ordinary life that he had before, whatever. And just thinking about it, talking about it, is got him like this.
So,
and he's thinking, and he's saying, Bhakti. I'm thankful for Bhakti Yoga because it got me to the next. I had a realization while I was performing. I don't know. That's what confuses me.
and along the same lines, like I feel nothing but gratitude for the teachers and texts and the liturgy and everything that's been a part of this tradition has been really good for me. So it's still.
So there you go. There you go. He what did he just say? Something it's been very good for him. What exactly?
Really good for me. So and along the same lines, like I feel nothing but gratitude for the teachers and texts and the liturgy and everything that's been a part of this tradition has been really good for me.
So yeah, it leaves me like he doesn't know about the racism and the sexism in the books, and the women have small brains, and women like to be raped, and black people are ugly and belong in the jungles, and if you build a library, black people just go for drinking. They won't go for learning or reading. And women are lustier than men, and women are shouldn't go to school, and little girls should be married. He didn't read any of that. He called himself a Chuchabhavana or a Chuchabhava or whatever, and he didn't read about Ramananda Roy rubbing his hands on the little girls and Chota Haridas with the good rice, committing suicide because he begged for some rice for Lord Chaitanya. I mean, if you don't see something wrong with that, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you. If you don't see something wrong with the fact that this guy went and begged some rice and then he got banished, the guy flipped out, had a fucking fit over it, and then the guy goes and kills himself, and then the guy smiles. He's all like, "Oh, he killed himself." What, you don't think there's something wrong with that? Ramananda Roy rubbing his hands over these two little naked Devi Dasis? Prabhupada being married to an 11-year-old girl? You have a guru in this ISKCON and you don't know? You got all of Prabhupada's books on that bookshelf behind you and you don't know that Prabhupada had an 11-year-old wife when he was 22 years old? I mean, what were you doing in this cult? What were you doing? You didn't know the whole time you were in there. You didn't know about you didn't know about. He didn't know. He didn't know about that. He didn't know about that part. He didn't get to that part. That was coming up. Yeah, please send me the link because I want to see this, and we'll all talk about it. I definitely want to see it. Send me the link to that. Yeah, you know, the good rice. What's with the good rice, man? Like he doesn't know about these things. He doesn't know the bedtime stories, pushing books around in a shopping cart. He doesn't know about that. He doesn't know. Hey, Rafael, how you doing, man? We were watching some videos earlier. I guess you're in. I don't know. Are you in those videos? I guess you're in those videos, man. I saw those videos, man. This guy, it blows my mind with this guy. Like, and I'm not trying to give him a hard time. I'm not trying to give him a hard time. He's in tears. He's crying. I think he's been through a lot. And even though he wasn't like he wasn't sexually abused, he wasn't. You know, I don't know if his guru fell down or anything. I don't know what issues he's had in the Hare Krishnas, but evidently it's emotional for him. It's emotional for him. He's been through something. He's not talking. He's not saying. Who knows what it is, but he's been through something in this cult. He's been through something. You don't join a thing and then leave and everything's fine, and then you start breaking down when you're thinking about it and break down into tears because it was such a wonderful experience. I mean, it could be tears of joy. What? Tears of joy? I know he's got a full set of books on his shelves. Yeah, this guy doesn't know what to think. He's all mixed up, and I really feel and I have to say again, this is what this cult will do to you. This guy's all messed up. The best thing he did was do the ayahuasca that made him have a breakthrough. That was the only good thing.
So it's still, however, amazing to me that it's from within the heart of these daily devotional practices that I've come to realize that, like, oh, it's not quite the right fit for me. It's not, you know, I've always been the kind of person.
So he's happy that he spent time doing something and wasted time doing something that's not the right fit for him. He's happy that he, you know, I mean, I understand, but I wasted a lot of time in Hare Krishnas too, and I came to the realization that I wasted 20 years in there. I'm not happy about it. I'm happy that I came to my senses, but I'm not happy I spent 20 years in there. I could have came to my senses before I joined. I could have came to my senses after 1 week. No, I spent 20 years in there. And I'll tell you, you know, as pissed off and as fucked up as everything's been in my life, I've never broken down in tears thinking about my time in it and what it did to me mentally, physically, to my family, to my daughter. It's like I've never been at where he's at. And I'm not saying I have to be, or he has to be, or nobody should be, or everybody should be. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've never got to that point. And he's breaking down. So evidently, you know, this has been hard for him, and I feel for him. He's been whether he admits it or not, and whether anybody agrees with me or not, I say that this guy's been abused. This guy's been through something that has affected him, and I don't think he's saying
who
it.
Like gets the tattoo as quickly as possible when I like something. Oh, as someone who's been going through tattoo removal over the past year, the symbolism is not lost on me.
He's having tattoos removed. So he's having tattoos removed. This guy's no different. This guy really, and I don't mean to be funny. I'm gonna go back over here. Oh, my evil twin. Okay, so I'm gonna say something, and I don't mean to be funny, but this guy he's like Hot Lips. He's like Hot Lips. All right, he came from he grew up in a family the son of a preacher. Who knows what that life was like? Who knows what that trauma was like? He said his father had some hard times when like his father fell down, had some problems as a preacher, which caused family issues. Like he was in the family where the preacher was a drunk or whatever it was. So he brought that up, and then he's doing the ayahuasca, and he's joined the Hare Krishnas, and he's like an astrologer, and he's like a very spiritual, universal spiritual kind of guy, new age kind of guy. So it sounds like he's got, and I'm not saying being a spiritual kind of guy and astrologer, like those are issues. It just sounds like overall with his family, with his upbringing and everything that he's been going through in his life, it's causing pressure on his personality, let's say. Like just some underlying issues that maybe brought him into Hare Krishna. He even said that the religion, kind of this religious thing, kind of may have eased him into the Hare Krishnas from his Christian upbringing. He gets into this Hare Krishna, and then his head gets all messed up. The Hare Krishna is not gonna. If you're like Hot Lips, or you're like you've got some issues, or Rupa Manjari. If you're Rupa Manjari, you've got issues from your upbringing. You were brought up in a cult, Christian Science cult. You got family issues in your upbringing, and then you join the Hare Krishnas, which is just. I mean, is it a recipe for this? Is this horrible? Hot Lips, Rupa Manjari is still stuck in that cult that has caused her so much abuse, so much harm. And this guy had no idea what he was getting into, and this thing has put him through the ringer. It puts everybody through the ringer.
So I have Krishna and Radha and the holy names of Krishna to thank for just being like, it's okay. It's okay if this tradition isn't quite the right match for your religious psychology. It's okay. And actually, I feel like the mantra itself is what gave me some grace to realize that, and that there's no, in the holy names, there is no exclusivity, superiority, righteous indignation at that mismatch. There's been no sense of condemnation that I've felt from within the temple of that daily prayer. So I think that's just really cool. And on that note, I would just consider myself a friend of the Hare Krishnas. What an incredible tradition. I'm thankful that I got to experience something of it. And
okay, so there you go. There is a person who joined the Hare Krishnas, had a bad experience in the Hare Krishnas, but doesn't realize the bullet that they dodged. Just doesn't understand for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they doesn't understand that the gurus are a scam, that these gurus are fake and frauds, that they're molesting children and buddying up with it. Does he know that this Bhakti Vikas Swami says we have to forgive child molesters when they molest children because the Bhagavad Gita says so? You going to tell me that you want to live your life according to a book that says you have to forgive a child molester? And these gurus are saying you got to forgive these child molesters. You're not a spiritual person like me unless you can just let this child molester just walk free. Not only walk free, go wash his feet. That's crazy. Oh, and speaking of washing feet, let me see, where is this? Where is the washing of the feet? Let me see where this is. Can I find the washing of the feet here somewhere? No, it's not. I can't. I can't find it now. there was a really good video of some foot washing going on, but now it is this it? No, I can't find. I guess if anybody has a good video of some foot washing going on, I really wanted to see that. It's just not. I don't know. I thought I saved it somewhere, but I guess I didn't. I guess I couldn't find it. Holy names, brainwashing stuff, brainwashing, foot washing, all of that, all of that kind of stuff. I really wanted to show that. I really wanted to show that video. I can't find it now. Oh, I'm so upset. I can't find. Where did it go? It was somewhere. I just can't find it. I was washing the feet and drinking the water. But hey, everybody, I think should we do a spin of the wheel? Let's do a spin of the wheel. I think a few more minutes left. We got a few minutes. We can spin the wheel. We haven't spun the wheel in a while. Let me get this going here. Let's spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel, and let's give the wheel a spin. And where's our theme music? And of course, you can wager if you want to wager. If you want to wager, you can absolutely wager. Where did I go? What happened to me? I'm missing in the whole thing. There we go. Okay. That is always fun. We're gonna spin the wheel of idiots and see which idiot it lands on today. We got all kinds of idiots up here. It's a whole group of them, and yes, we got. So you can lay your money down if you want to. You want to bet, accepting bets for fake humans as red, and we're gonna spin the wheel. We're gonna spin the wheel right now and see who it's gonna land on. Let me get my theme music ready, and here we go with a spin of the old wheel of idiot. Hey, look, it's Narayan Maharaj. Wow. We haven't seen him. I don't think we've ever seen him before. And Fake Human is the winner. A big winner for Fake Human. All right. Yeah, oh, Raphael, you lost. But Narayan Maharaj is the winner. And let me woo! Yeah. Fake Human, the big winner today. Fake Human. So let's see if we can find some Narayan Maharaj. Let me see what we can do here. How can we? Does he have anything on the line? He's got to have something. I don't know. Can oh, what do we you got to be kidding me. Oh, let's do this one.
gonna be cool with this. I was like, from what I understand, this is a personal process. This is my choice.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family.
One love.
We're one family. The whole Guru Varga want that, for us to understand that. That is advancement. Hare Krishna friends. Greetings. My name is Malini Dasi.
And I'm Tulsi Devi Dasi.
And we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Hare Krishna devotees, who are disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And we're feeling really inspired to share more about our Gurudev, making him more accessible to those who are interested in knowing about him. And so we are going to share a bit about his life, his mood, his teachings,
Our experiences with
and
him.
our own experiences with him.
This topic has been something that has been
You know,
on our mind.
and we have another winner, Tim Wallace. How you doing? Tim Wallace says, I know these witches. That's our big winner today. That is too funny. That is too amazing. Mandarin Manjari. Who are these? Everybody wants to know. Tim, who are these witches? I want to know who are these witches. The one on the left is the epitome of a spiritual narcissist. Her name, Malicious Malini Taneha. The one on the left. Well, let's hear a little bit. Well, now that we found somebody that we know. Let's.
For many years, actually.
Can't really
The
hear him,
purpose
though.
of this video is that we hope to bring healing and hopefully clearing up any misunderstandings and just bringing a sense of peace and togetherness throughout our Gaudiya Vaishnava family.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, exactly.
Yes.
And so our Srila Gurudev, he grew up as a Vaishnav. He was a Ram Bhakta, actually, in just about 1920. And he was born in Bihar, in the northern part of India. And growing up, he was always listening to the Ramayana, Hanuman, Sita Ram, so absorbed in that. And there's some miracle stories as a kid of him saving people by the power of Ram's name. It's beautiful. And he was very athletic also. And later on, as an early adult, a young adult, he became a police officer under the British rule, because at that time, India was colonized by the British. And he was always a spiritual person from a very young age. But during that time, he encountered...
Okay, all I can say is this is a bunch of bullshit. These guys, they're nothing but a bunch of scammers and bullshit artists. And this Narayan Maharaj is no different. And he's just as much a scammer, bullshitter as these other guys. And these two women are scammers, bullshit artists.
who worship Hare Krishna Mahaprabhu. And they were disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And he was so moved by them and spoke for hours with them at length. And he saw that they had the answers to...
Yeah, they all have their friggin' magical mystery story, their magical mystery story, and my evil twin. Yeah, look at this. He was a cop. He was a cop under the British rule. All these guys. Bhaktivinoda Thakur worked under the British too. He was a judge under the British. These guys are all friggin'. Body language, dangerous, narcissistic. I know better than you. I know these. The one on her right, his name is Tulsi. Cosplaying as some Hindus. They think they're Hindus. Malini Taneha is full of ego because her dad was a Prabhu fraud disciple. Yeah, these idiots think they know it all. Meanwhile, their lives are a mess. Exactly. This is like they're no different. They're no different than the friggin' wisdom of the sages. The wisdom of the sages. Make Gaudiya Math great again. I know. Like this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Blah blah blah. But she berates and loves chastising new devotees. She's a typical devotee founder. Oh, this one here. So that's her, huh? Okay, so that's the one. That's the abusive one. That's the one that. Okay, okay.
And that's
Now
why
I
he
know who
was
you
so
guys are
deep.
talking about.
So he began going deeper into his bhajan, his chanting, and was chanting a lakh a day. I think Srila Gurudev even said he chanted a lakh a day from very young on. So he was already chanting a lakh, but now he was very absorbed in
acting like they know, They're acting like they know something, and you don't know shit. All you know is what someone's told you. You weren't there. You weren't there watching him chant a lakh rounds a day or hearing when he was a little kid. You're just telling stories that you've heard from someone else as if you know something. You only know what someone's told you. And what they told you could be completely wrong, and you wouldn't know any different because that's all you know is what they've told you. And you're gonna sit there and tell me like I'm supposed to listen to you? Like, why would I believe anything you got to say? You're just cosplaying as some friggin' Bengali woman from the 16th century. Why would anyone listen to you? And either one of you. Why? Why would I listen to you? No holy mama. You ain't no holy mama. You ain't holy. Why would I listen to you? Why would I believe anything you have to say about anything? The books say shouldn't even listen to you because you're a woman, you have a small brain. That's what the books say. The books say that you're lustier than men. You're nine times lustier than men. You have a small brain, you like to be raped. You're too foolish to know when a man's taking advantage of you. That's what your books say, so why would I listen to anything you got to say? You're probably being fooled by a man right now. According to your books, your guru's probably taking advantage of you. How do I know you're not another hot lips? How do I know you're not two hot lips sitting there being screwed over by a fucking Gorahari? Fake witches putting on a show? Yeah, they all are. And they're no different than anybody else. They're all the same. They're all the fucking same. Ruining people's lives with this bullshit. Ruining these people's lives. Just like they made that other guy cry. Like they made that other guy cry. And then these guys. Ruining people's lives. Breaking up relationships. Telling parents to put their kids in a Gurukula. Telling parents to marry their 13-year-old kids off. Athletic narcissism. Clueless under the British. I know. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and these guys are all working under the British, and this guy was a cop under the British, and fucking A, man. She loves teaching everyone everything because she knows better. She don't know shit. She thinks she knows everything. What the fuck they know? Fucking bedtime stories. Friggin' bedtime stories. Let's read Krishna book and drink some hot milk and cookies and go to bed and read Krishna book to me when I go to bed while I eat my milk and cookies. It's fucking such childish bullshit. Swear to God, it's childish bullshit. She's mean as hell and mistreats women in the New York temple she lives in. Yeah, it probably makes her feel good. It makes her feel better. You saw how Prabhupada treated people. Prabhupada treated his disciples like shit. When they were in there talking to him, he'd berate them and talk down to them, insult them. This woman is so disgusting. She loves convicted child abuse in the ashram. Well, you knew that was coming. I knew that was coming because they all do. That's their thing. That's their thing is to excuse the child molesters. Excuse the child molesters. That's their number one priority, is letting the child, is not speaking up against child abuse. Not speaking up against child abuse. That's their number one. Hot lips brainwashed. I know. It's just amazing. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And verbal diarrhea. I know. Take a shower after this podcast. I'm sorry. I don't mean. Next time I live stream, I'm gonna put up a warning. You should wear a raincoat because you might get some shit splattered all. Over you. Oh man. Narayana Maharaj Sangha is full of big spiritual egos. Everyone is an artist or big shot or wanna be a big shot. They're all in a competition with each other. Yeah, it's a. Oh man, can you imagine? These so-called gurus falling or not under the British with bad boys. I know they want to act like they're all tough for Krishna and Kshetris and all this. Meanwhile, they're all bowing down to the British. None of these guys were like stood up to the British, like Gandhi did or anybody else. Not that Gandhi was a great guy or anything, but these guys are all like kissing ass, licking the boots of the British. They came in here. They were freaking a string a day. Were fighting for anything. This is fucking bullshit. This cult. Malini will be reported to the Department of Justice for allowing convicted chomos in the ashram she's trying to run as her own. Yeah, it's just like that is their thing. That is their thing. If there are many children living near the ashram and they got, they need to be on a list. You need to file a report and say, hey, we believe that there are child sex offenders living in the neighborhood that are not registered, and we have reason to suspect that there have been allegations. Whatever you can do. Whatever can be done, I would say do it, man. I would say do it. But listen, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming in here today and joining me. Class is over today. Boy, it was a lot of fun, though. I really feel sorry for that guy, though, that left the Hare Krishnas. He seems like a nice guy. He seemed like he didn't mean anybody any harm. He was just trying to find a spiritual path. Got initiated, got his spiritual name, and then he just ends up like just devastated. Like he can't even leave without going through a whole thing. He's just like this whole thing with him. He's just trying to do a video about I'm leaving the Hare Krishnas. He's crying, he's all upset, but he didn't want to say nothing bad about him though. He didn't want to say nothing bad. And he says he's still friends with him. So it tells me he didn't learn that much. He didn't learn that much from his time in there. And I feel sorry for him. And he should come in here and hear the truth is what he needs. He needs to come in here and learn the truth. And we got ISKCON new beauty products for brainwashed gopis, your hot lips. Yeah, that's the new devotee lipstick for when you go out on Harinam and you want that big bright red. Big red, but you put on the hot lips, red by Hot Lips by Chanel. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So, yeah. Oh man. So, anyway, I want to thank everybody thanks everybody for joining in, man. I'm hitting some milestones. Hitting a lot of milestones, so thank you for being part of that. Please like, share, and subscribe. All you new people out there, please like, share, and subscribe. It's going to set me up, set me over the milestone, so the algorithm will push my videos out to even more people, and we can stop people from getting into this, stop people from losing 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years of their lives to this crap. So so please do that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Sharing is always good. Great when I heard the neighbors near the ashram hate them already. Yeah, you know, I wish there was something we could do. If we could organize, I wish we could, you know, if there were more creators that are doing this, if we could organize and get like protesting going, some organization going on, it'd be great. I would love it. Believe me, I would love that. So anyway, I want to thank everybody again. Thank you. Everybody, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Please have some great luck. Please stay out of a cult. And for all you new people out there, like, share, and subscribe. All you new people out there, this is me a long time ago when I was a Hare Krishna. I know what I'm talking about, everybody. And again, I want to thank everybody. Tim, Fake Human, Rafael, thanks for sending in the videos. Keep sending even more. And Liam and Jeff and everybody. Thanks again, everybody. Here you go.